And a very good Thursday, June the 17th, 2021, to each and every one of you. Hey guys, my name is Jewel, and this is the Weather Channel of J7409. This is the Tropical Update, but before I get into it, I do want to mention this to everyone because this is you guys right up in here from Iowa, moving down, wherever you see this enhanced mark, to southwestern Wisconsin, a little of the southern section of Minnesota, and just a tad of western Illinois. Be aware today, you could have some very, very, very severe weather. I mean, some of these winds could top out at 90 miles per hour. You could have tornadoes, you can have very large hail, and you can have severe wind gusts. Severe wind gusts. Please be aware of this and stay on track with it. Don't get caught short. And of course, out in the western sections here, still very hot, 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 hot. And when I said you could have, not saying you're going to, but you need to be aware, you could have some wind gusts of 90 miles per hour, where you see this little black section right in here, and the red section. So please be aware of this, okay, and stay safe. I'm going to make this just as short as I possibly can. We're waiting on Claudette. Will it form? Well, there's good and there's bad chances for it. Now, as you can see, everything, and this is this little area I was just talking about up here. This is going to be some severe weather that comes your way today, so be aware of it. And stay safe, I might add. Now, when we look at the system right down in here, you can see everything is pushing off to the east for the most part. Why? That's because of the shear wind that's coming in over in this area here. There's dry air. What I'm thinking right now, why it may develop, is because of the very warm waters in here, and some of this shear wind will slack up a little bit, and we're going to check out the dry air and the shear wind. But there's still, it may develop because of the warm waters. It might not develop to Claudette, but one thing for sure, by probably, I'd say sometime this afternoon or tonight, it will be a tropical depression. And if it's going to form into a tropical storm, it may do so by Friday afternoon or Friday night before it makes landfall. Now, another thing that's coming up I want to talk about and show you. Right now, a little bit earlier, it looked like the landfall could be anywhere from the upper Texas coast to the southeast parishes of Louisiana. At one point earlier, before the latest update from the Hurricane Center came out, it was looking like it may come in Cameron. It may come a little east of Cameron now. And landfall, wherever it does come in, is looking like around Saturday, early Saturday evening, maybe 7, 8 p.m., somewhere in there, in that area. And for the highest wind gust, they could be, not saying they're going to be, they could be from Cameron to Ridgecrest to New Orleans to Grand Isle to Mobile and Pensacola. These gusts could be anywhere from 40, 60, 70 miles per hour. You need to pay attention to this. The biggest thing is going to be the rain. The rain, my friends, and most of the rain is going to be moving towards the eastern sections. As you can see right now from these westerly shear winds, it's trying to keep pushing it a little bit. And I'm going to show you all of this. Let's just take, for example, one place like Pensacola. It's looking like Friday through Sunday night. It's going to be breezy and it's going to be rainy. And you also have a good chance of up to 60% chance of rain on Monday. So we're going to check some things out right now. Of course, this is Invest 92L. The winds in it right now are 28 miles per hour, and the barometric pressure is 29.85. Now, first of all, let's check out the dust, the Saharan air layer dust. Here we are at 5 p.m. for this afternoon. We have this system right around in here. You can see there is those gaps where there is no dust. Where the other day there was dust. There is none now, but we're going to click through a little bit here. This is 8 p.m. for this evening. See how the dust is spreading apart, and it's going to give this a chance to come up and form. How strong it will be, we'll have to wait and see. Here's Friday, tomorrow at 11 a.m. The system is looking like it's trying to push up, and it's going to mix into some of this, but all around here you can see it's letting up. Now it's going to run into some more. Here's the system. It's very hard to see. It's where the arrow is pointing. We do have this dry air right here circulating around 8 p.m. tomorrow night. It may already be formed into a tropical storm, or it still may be a tropical depression at this point. As you can see, as it moves in, this air, this dry dust is still here, as it is still off the coast of Louisiana. That's what it's looking like as of now. None of this is wrote in stone, let me remind everyone, but I'm giving you the general idea of what to expect. This is one reason why I don't think it will get but so severe, it may turn into a tropical storm. Looks like a few more isobars around it at this time. So we're going to move on through till around 8 a.m. Saturday morning. It picked up a little strength before it moved inland right in this little gap where there is none of this dry dust. So let's check out the shear wind. Here we are at 0 hours right now, and I'm using my Fox models right here. It's the same as the other models go, but it's just easier for you to see these things. Look around in here now as this is coming up. The shear wind is here, these westerly shear winds moving across. Timestamp right here. Now we're going to go up one step at a time, as you can see. Looking like it's still shear wind, and it's going to keep pushing this thing easterly with most of the rain, but at the same time it's slacking up a little bit, but it's still going to run into some of it, as you can see. So let's just let this move along real fast here. Here we go. You can see the shear winds. It's going to run into some up here. This is what's going to keep pushing it towards the east, but there's these pockets of no wind at all. No wind at all. Now, as it moves up and it tries to come up through this area, it's going to run into some more. Now we're up to 51 hours out, just right up. Let's stop it a minute, because this is important, and run it back a few ways here. Okay, at about 59 hours out up here, you can see as it moves across here, there is none, but it looks like it's going to try to push up here where that dry air is not at and move across. Like I say, like I said earlier, landfall could be anywhere from the upper Texas coast to the southeast parishes of Louisiana. And it looks like the shear wind's going to let up right around Mobile and also Florida here. So we're going to move on up. And in 72 hours out, the shear wind lets up around Louisiana a lot. It's still some there. It's only about 15 to 18 mile per hour winds though. So if this storm does form down in the very, very hot Gulf, it could push on up and into the areas. I said the rainfall was going to be something. That's a big concern that can cause coastal flooding, inundation, just a real hazard to the very coastal sections. I'm not talking a big bad hurricane, but I'm talking enough to have some flooding going on, because look at these the water vapor in this from these cloud tops. It is something else, folks. Let's check out what is going to be looking like some of the water measurements. This is as of now. By tomorrow it may change, folks, but right now look at New Orleans. 9 inches of rain, working on 10. Over here at Lake Charles, you're on the western side of where it's coming in. You're not going to get as much rain. All the rain's going to be up in these areas from Atlanta down to New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Gulfport, 6, Mobile, 4. Over here in Panama City, Pensacola, you're going to get a little more, as you can see. But this rain is going to be the big deal. Now, it's going to come down real fast and real hard, and it's going to cause some ponding, it's going to cause some flooding, and it's going to cause very large rip currents all the way from Louisiana across down through Florida. So it's not going to be a good day. Looking like Father's Day for you folks isn't going to be a beautiful day. I hate to tell you that, but that's what it's looking like right now. But the rain is going to be one of the worst things in this storm as of now. Now, the latest from the National Hurricane Center, you can see, here we go right here. It's still, as of right now, just a really big, broad area of low pressure over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. As a matter of fact, I was looking up some stuff earlier. This thing is like 200 nautical miles around in radius is where it's going to reach. Now, it is producing some widespread but disorganized cloudiness and showers and thunderstorms. They haven't got together yet. Now, it is expected to move northward, and a tropical or subtropical depression is likely to form over the west central Gulf of Mexico tonight or early tomorrow. And they are going to be sending an Air Force Reserve unit, reconnaissance aircraft. It is scheduled to investigate the disturbance this afternoon if it looks to be necessary. Regardless of the development, heavy rain will continue over portions of Central America and southern Mexico during the next few days, and these heavy rains should also begin to affect portions of the northern Gulf Coast by Friday. Now, they've got it at a very high percentage for 2 days and 5 days of forming. And remember, I told you it could reach anywhere from the Texas coast here over to the southeastern parishes. See how this line goes? That's exactly what the models are looking like. Now, as we look at the Euro, this is Saturday morning around 3 a.m. You can see here is the center of circulation of this system. And it is looking like it is going to come in over in this area at this time as it moves across. This is set on wind gust over in New Orleans and that area around the coastal sections, 52 mile per hour wind gust. Now, the sustained winds I don't think are going to be that intense. Let's see what it's looking like. 33 miles per hour. That's what the Euro's saying right now. Doesn't mean it's going to be that way. We're going to have to wait and see, folks. And remember, I told you as of right now, the barometric pressure is 29.85. And by Saturday morning, you can see how it's going to fall to 29.3. So we will flip back over to the wind gust. You can see this better. We'll move up to around 1 p.m. Saturday. 1 to 2 p.m. Saturday, right after lunch. You can see that the center of circulation is moving up now. It looks like on the Euro is updated, It may not come in around Cameron. It may be just a little east of Cameron where it comes in. Highest wind gust still around, let's see what around New Orleans is looking like. 42 miles per hour. When you come over to Mobile, what's that looking like? 54 mile per hour wind gust over in this area here. Sustained winds, once again, should not be that bad. Not according to this model as of now. I've looked through a lot. I really think, folks, that westerly shear wind and that Saharan dust is going to make a big difference. Whether this comes an actual tropical storm or just a tropical depression, we're going to have to wait and see. I think that because of those little areas it can go through where there is no dust and there is no wind, that's why the National Hurricane Center is saying 90% it could form into something, and it could be a tropical storm. I'm not saying it's not, but I know for sure it's going to be a tropical depression. Either way, we're waiting on Claudette, so let's go ahead and get through this some. We'll move it on up to around 9 to 10 p.m. on Saturday night. You can see now the center circulation is up in Mississippi. Still has some pretty good wind gusts in it, and still has some good wind coming in towards Mobile with gusts. Let's see what they're looking like. Around 46, and up as we move up towards Birmingham around 50. We'll move up to around 10 a.m. Sunday morning. You can see how it's going to move across. Atlanta, look there at you. Now this is wind gust. If we make this map a little bigger, you can see a little bit better. Now right around Atlanta, Sunday around 9, 10, 11 o'clock, somewhere in there, 43 mile per hour wind gusts. That wind's going to keep on, as you can see, going across different places here. But the sustained winds aren't going to be bad, folks. They're just going to be regular old winds we're used to, around 18 miles per hour. Maybe you're not used to them, but I am. I should put it that way. Let's check out the rain at this point and see what the rain is looking like. My goodness gracious, look at all this rain. Still going to have some good clusters and spots of rain. This is going all the way up to Chattanooga, Tennessee. We'll back it up just a little. We'll go to early Sunday morning. You can see that this is going to move across here, and we will just let it run for a few moments. Rome, Georgia, you're going to get some. It's going to move on across. We'll cut it off for a moment. We'll bring it down so we can see what's happening. And once again, this is what it's looking like as of now. It all could change, as you know, with this rain looking like around Charlotte. Let's back that up a moment. We got some people that live in this area here, and let's blow it up some so we can see what's going on exactly and where. Shelby, it's going to be getting some rain. Concord, you're going to be getting some rain too. Let's check out the wind at this point. Sustained wind should not be bad. Right now, they're only looking like 14 miles per hour, but are there still wind gusts in this? Yes. Yes, indeed. Up around Concord here. Let's see what the wind gusts are looking like. 41 miles per hour. And when you come back over, in between Union and Gaffney, all these areas, this wind's going to be higher. It's 64 miles per hour. So, folks, you can't let your guard down. You're going to get these downdraft winds, and you've heard me many, many times and say many, many times that these downdraft winds are just as bad as tornadoes. They just don't go far, and they don't last but a few minutes or a few seconds. It's not a long haul thing. But we'll keep it on the wind, let it roll on around now. We're up to Monday. You see the timestamp as it moves across up around my neck of the woods by Monday afternoon. We could be having some wind gusts and up around Greenville here. Let's see what it's looking like. 53 mile per hour wind gusts. Sustained winds should not be bad at all. The sustained winds, these 21 miles per hour. Well, I guess my little tomato plant's going to have to do something. I want to point something out to everybody. You see where these particles are moving? You don't have to worry about me flooding. It's pushing the water away from my bulkhead. It's pushing it on the other side of the river where I live. Those are the folks that will have the water to rise, not me. So you don't have to worry about that, okay? It's pushing it away from me, as you can see. So far as rain goes, let's look at this for the area here. Looking like Roanoke Rapids, you're going to get a lot of rain out of this. Everybody, all the way from the mountains to the coast at some point, will get some rain out of this. And we'll move up to around 8 p.m. Monday, and you can see I've already had some heavy rain go through this area here. So, with all of that said and done, what am I suggesting for everyone to do? I am suggesting everyone from this area of Texas right on around through here to prepare for some flooding, not necessarily from a bad wind tropical storm, but just all the rain that's going to dump. Just all the rain that's going to dump all over in these, right in these areas here. And plus there's going to be flooding up in these areas too. Now when I say flooding, I don't mean a big flood. I mean it's going to come down so hard, the rain's not going to have anywhere to go. You're going to see the water to rise. So don't, just be prepared for it. And yeah, it's going to get windy. You've seen some of these wind gusts. It's going to get windy. It's going to have a chance of forming into a tropical storm. And no doubt it's going to be a tropical depression. And I have personally gone through tropical storm systems that I have got more rain and more flooding from than I have tornadoes. So don't just blow this off. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you're prepared. Stay safe. We'll have another update coming up for you later this afternoon. I want to see if the airplane goes out and checks out anything and a whole lot of things. But yes, folks, this storm is coming, whether it is a tropical storm or a tropical depression, but I think the National Hurricane Center is looking like it may become a tropical storm. This would be Claudette. Next one coming up after Claudette is going to be Danny. Stay safe, my friends. Be aware. Have your kits, your plans, your pets, your neighbors, everything taken care of. Make sure you're not caught off guard. Have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this video with your friends, your family, and on your social media. If you have anyone living in these areas here, they need to be aware of what's going on. Thank you for everything you do for me. I appreciate it so much, my friends. And just remember, I want to make sure everybody remembers when this storm comes up. I'm saying, I'm just putting an arrow here. It doesn't mean it's going to come here, but it's going to go across and affect all of these areas. So make sure you got your stuff together and your plans made. Peace, love, and kindness to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching.